Drew Waggoner is a very inspiring football player, both on the field and off. On the field, he's a starting linebacker. Off the field, he's a great humanitarian. And tonight, it's that remarkable story that gets our Lance Schwartz to thinking. Lance?
Thank you, Kim. Imagine, if you will, being a 23-year-old college football player, healthy, strong, and heading into your senior season. Would you be willing to give it all up to save a stranger's life? Drew Waggoner was, and his life will never be the same.
Respect.
The words respect and Drew Waggoner go well together.
If you asked me why have you stayed here 30 years, then I would introduce you to Drew Waggoner.
Drew is just the kind of guy Daryl Morris wants on his team.
Well, he's a good old Nebraska kid. He's from Madison, Nebraska. He's a good small-town guy. He works hard. He's an intelligent kid.
And he's the kind of kid that would pay attention to a UNK assembly last spring that featured an inspiring magician named Jim Monroe.
It was a message from his life about how he'd gotten leukemia when he was younger, and they told him that it was extremely bad case and that he didn't have much time to live.
Monroe's life was saved by a donor found on the National Bone Marrow Registry. Drew got his cheek swabbed immediately and joined the National Registry. Shortly before two-a-days got started back in August, Drew found out that his DNA was a perfect match for a 36-year-old man with leukemia. Donating bone marrow would have sidelined Drew for the entire season.
I definitely would have done it. I knew right away that I would have done it.
As it worked out, only Drew's stem cells were needed. But just that process was no walk in the park.
That wasn't fun. I don't like needles, first of all. And then on top of that, I was in the middle of 2 days fall camp for UNK football here. And so the side effects of those injections are that you feel like you have the flu pretty much.
Even throbbing headaches didn't change Drew's perspective.
I never regretted it, that's for sure, because I always saw to what could possibly come out of it, saving a guy's life.
You know, it's a great thing, and it's tough for me to imagine to be able to do that, and it just goes to show that Drew is, he's a leader on and off the field.
Let's go!
This guy who had leukemia, he looked at the registry and as his last chance, and they didn't see anybody on the registry that matched his DNA, and so he must have been really disappointed. And then all of a sudden it pops up that he's got a match and that'll donate for him, and so they said that it must have been an answer for this guy's prayers.
I'm sure it was. The National Bone Marrow Registry prohibits donors from finding out just who was given that donation. Drew says for all he knows, the 36-year-old man with leukemia could be living in Kearney or Africa. All Drew knows for certain is that he did everything in his power to help save a fellow human being's life. And did you see that look in Drew's eyes when he was talking about providing the answer to someone's prayers? It's powerful stuff.
No matter where that person is, it's just an amazing gift. I mean, a life-saving gift. And I think people probably don't know that, like you mentioned in your story, it all starts with a little cheek swab. You can call the registry and they'll send you one. You send it back in and you could end up being the next Drew.
Absolutely. We can learn a lot from that young man.
We certainly can. Thank you very much, Lance. When we come back, Rusty's in with the last check of your forecast. Stay with us.